There is a dishwasher sitting in a landfill right now that is 4 years old. It has never cleaned a single dish properly. It ran its cycles for 4 hours at a time, left food residue on every glass, and then one Tuesday morning, the control panel went dark and it never turned on again. The family that owned it paid $900 for it. The repair technician looked at it, quoted them $450 for a replacement control board, and told them the part was on back order for 3 months. They threw it away and bought another one. Hi, my name is Robert, and this is Broken America. What a real dishwasher was. To understand how far we have fallen, you need to understand what a dishwasher actually was in 1985. If you walked into an American kitchen in the mid-1980s and opened the dishwasher under the counter, you would find a machine that was almost insultingly simple. There was a pump motor the size of a softball. There was a hard food disposer, a small garbage disposal bolted to the bottom of the tub. There was a mechanical timer that clicked through the cycle like a thermostat. And there was a heating element that got hot enough to actually sanitize your dishes. You loaded that machine, twisted the dial, and 45 minutes later, your dishes were clean. Not damp, not streaked. Clean, hot, dry. You could pull a glass out of that machine and it would be so hot you could barely hold it. That heat was doing the work. It was killing bacteria, evaporating water spots, and drying everything without a separate rinse aid dispenser because it did not need one. The motor was loud. I will grant you that. Running a dishwasher in 1988 meant you raised your voice during commercials. But loud meant powerful. Loud meant the water was being thrown against your dishes with enough force to actually dislodge food. The hard food disposer meant you did not have to pre-rinse a single plate. You scraped your leftovers into the trash and loaded it. Done. Those machines lasted 25 years. Some of them lasted longer. They lasted because there was almost nothing inside them that could fail, in a way that was not fixable by a competent technician with a $20 part from a supply house. That era is over, and it did not end by accident. The regulation trap. Here is where the story gets complicated, because the villains in this chapter are not just the corporations, they are also the regulators, and the road to a broken dishwasher is paved with genuinely good intentions. Starting in the early 2000 era, the Department of Energy began tightening efficiency standards for household appliances. The targets were water consumption and energy usage. On paper, this is a reasonable goal. Water is a finite resource. Energy costs money. Nobody is arguing against conservation. But here is what the regulations did not account for. Cleaning dishes requires a minimum amount of mechanical energy. You need water pressure, heat, and time. If you reduce the water and reduce the temperature, you have to compensate somewhere, or the dishes do not get clean. The manufacturers had two options. They could invest in genuinely better engineering that achieved the same cleaning power with less water and energy. Or they could quietly let the performance degrade and hide it behind longer cycle times and fancier marketing. They chose the second option every single time. By 2015, the average dishwasher cycle had stretched from 45 minutes to over 2 hours. By 2020, some cycles were running 3.5 hours. Bosch, which markets itself as the premium brand and charges you accordingly, has cycles that run close to 4 hours on the heavy setting. 4 hours. Your grandmother's dishwasher did the same job in the time it takes to watch a football game. And the dishes still come out with food on them. Because physics does not negotiate with marketing departments. You cannot spray a teaspoon of lukewarm water at a lasagna pan and call it a wash cycle. But the energy regulations did something even more destructive than killing performance. They handed manufacturers the perfect excuse to remove the hard food disposer. The disposer used energy. The disposer used water. So, in the name of efficiency, they removed it. And in its place, they gave you a filter, a mesh basket at the bottom of your tub that collects wet food debris, food that you have to reach in and remove with your bare hand once a week. They charged you more money for a machine that does less work and then assigned you the disgusting job they eliminated. That is not engineering progress. That is a negotiated surrender dressed up as an upgrade. The circuit board conspiracy. Now we get to the real crime, the one that turned a durable appliance into a 5-year disposable subscription. At some point in the late 1990s, a product manager at one of these appliance companies looked at a dishwasher and thought, what if we put a computer in it? And instead of everyone in that meeting room laughing him out of the building, they gave him a budget. The mechanical timer that ran dishwashers for 50 years was replaced with a printed circuit board, a motherboard with microprocessors, capacitors, and soldered connections that interprets your button presses and tells the machine what to do. They called this innovation. They called it precision control. They gave it a touchscreen interface, a delay start feature, and a half-load setting that nobody uses. What they did not mention is where they put this computer. They put it directly above the tub. They put a piece of sensitive consumer electronics in the single most hostile environment you could possibly choose. A box that fills with steam, heat, and humidity multiple times a day, every day, for years. If you wanted to design a test specifically engineered to destroy a circuit board, you would build a dishwasher. The thermal cycling alone is a death sentence. Every time that machine runs a hot cycle and then cools down, the solder joints on the control board expand and contract, microscopically at first, then visibly, then they crack. This is not a theory. This is a well-documented failure mode called solder joint fatigue. It is the reason control boards in dishwashers fail at a statistically predictable rate of between 4 and 7 years, depending on usage frequency. And when the board fails, the machine is dead. Not sick, dead. There is no mechanical workaround. There is no bypassing the computer to run a basic wash cycle. The board is the machine. Without it, you have an expensive stainless steel box that holds dirty dishes. Now here is where it gets personal. The replacement board for a mid-range Bosch dishwasher retails for between $250 to $350. Labor to install it runs another $150 to $200. You are looking at a $500 repair on an $800 machine. And that is assuming the board is still in production. More on that in a moment. The manufacturers know this failure timeline. They designed around it. Bosch, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, they all know that the control board is the weak point. They know the thermal environment kills it. They chose not to solve the problem because a dead dishwasher at year 5 is not a customer service failure in their business model. It is a sales event. The parts extinction problem. Let me tell you about the quiet weapon that makes the circuit board trap inescapable. Parts discontinuation. It sounds boring. It is actually devastating. When a manufacturer releases a new dishwasher model, they are legally and contractually obligated to support it with parts for a period of time. That period is typically 7 to 10 years from the date of manufacture, depending on the state and the product category. After that window closes, they are free to discontinue the part entirely. And they do, systematically and deliberately. This means that a dishwasher manufactured in 2018 may already be approaching the end of its part support window. The control board that costs $350 today may cost $600 in 3 years on the secondary market because the only supply left is what dealers bought up before discontinuation. And in 5 years, it may simply not exist. Anywhere, at any price. The repair technician will come to your house. He will diagnose the board. He will pull up the part number. He will look at his screen for a moment longer than necessary. And then he will say those 5 words that the appliance industry has turned into their unofficial company motto. It is not worth fixing. That phrase is not a neutral observation. It is the finish line of a race that was rigged before you ever bought the machine. So what do you actually do? First, if you own a dishwasher from before 2005 with a mechanical timer and a hard food disposer, do not replace it. I do not care if it sounds like a cement mixer. I do not care if it is Harvest Gold and it clashes with your kitchen renovation. That machine is an asset. Protect it. Second, if you are forced to buy new, your strategy is the same one we outlined for refrigerators and washing machines. Buy the dumbest machine on the floor. No touchscreen. No Wi-Fi. No soil sensors. No half-load button. Find the model with the fewest features and the most mechanical components. Every digital feature you eliminate is a failure point you are removing from the equation. In the current market, the brands with the most consistently repairable designs are Miele, which is German-made and expensive, but built with serviceability as an actual design principle, and Speed Queen, which has recently entered the dishwasher market applying the same commercial-grade philosophy they use in their washing machines. Neither one is cheap. We have said it before, and we will keep saying it until it lands. The most expensive appliance you can own is the one you have to replace every 5 years. Third, and this is the philosophy underneath all of it, stop buying features. Features are how they get you. They put a third rack in the dishwasher, and suddenly you are paying $400 more for a piece of stamped steel that holds spatulas. They add a bottle wash jet and you feel like you are getting something. You are not getting something. You are getting more components. More components means more failure points. More failure points means more service calls. More service calls means more profit for them and more frustration for you. The dishwasher was supposed to be the appliance that freed up an hour of your evening. It was supposed to be the machine that eliminated the argument about whose turn it is to wash up after dinner. They took that simple promise and they stuffed it full of circuit boards and touchscreens and soil sensors. And they turned it into a 5-year lease agreement disguised as a purchase. Stop letting them do it. Buy the iron, buy the mechanical, buy the machine that a technician can actually fix. And if you want to know which other appliances are running the same scam in your kitchen right now, keep watching Broken America, because we are just getting started.